After minding. Chapter 1 First sight like the wind. The wind gently blew through the sycamore trees on the edge of the city, and the afternoon sun dappled on the blue stone road. The first time Ling Qi and Zhou Yuan met was in the most inconspicuous cafe in the city. Ling Qi never thought that he would fall in love with a man as light as the wind. His name was Gu Yuchen. At first, Gu Yuchen didn't mind anything. Ling Kai's past, her occasional bad temper, her silence and stubbornness, he smiled and tolerated it. You don't need to change yourself, I like you the way you are, he said. At that moment, Ling Qi was so moved that he almost burst into tears. It was her long-lost warmth, and it was proof that she never thought anyone would accept her like this. Chapter 2 Gradual Waves. Time moved forward like a tide, and Gu Yuchen's attitude began to change. At first it was just a trivial matter, Ling Qi replied a minute late, and he frowned. She talks too much to her friends, and he sighs. Ling Qi was puzzled, but his heart became more and more panicked. Didn't you say you don't mind anything? She asked tentatively. Gu Yuchen looked back at her, his eyes flickering. That was me at that time. He began to care, began to magnify her shortcomings. Ling Qi cried and hugged him, trying to recover that gentle memory. However, Gu Yuchen gradually forgot what he had said. Chapter 3 Never mind what you can't get. When you don't get something, you can say you don't care about anything. This is the truth that Gu Yuchen said, but it was like a knife cut into Ling Kai's heart. The tolerance he once said is now only indifference and care. Ling Qi gradually understood that when he couldn't get it, it was because he wanted it and didn't mind. After getting it, I started to mind because I was afraid of losing it. This change suffocated her. Chapter 4 Many Misunderstandings. One day, Ling Qi overheard the conversation between Gu Yuchen and his friend, and realized that he didn't care about her, but the pain of the past made him unable to trust him easily. He had been betrayed and was afraid of being hurt again, so he chose to protect himself with mind. This understanding melted like an iceberg, and Ling Qi decided to give him time and courage. Chapter 5 Reunion. The two began to open up and be honest about each other's fears and uneasiness. Gu Yuchen learned to let go of his mind and pick up the original tolerance and gentleness again. Ling Qi also learned to remain independent in love and not be kidnapped by the other person's emotions. They have gone through the wind and rain together and ushered in sunny days hand in hand. Chapter 6 The End of Mind. Love is not that you don't mind, but after you mind, you still choose to persist and tolerate. Gu Yuchen and Ling Qi finally understood that the true meaning of love is not flawlessness, but that two hearts rely on each other in the midst of flaws. They stood under the sycamore tree, in the breeze, holding each other's hands and smiling at the future. Chapter 7 The Starting Point of Mind. Time became tighter and tighter between Gu Yuchen and Ling Qi, and Gu Yuchen began to look for reasons in the small details. Her tone was too cold, and he said she didn't care enough. She occasionally didn't take the initiative to reply, and he became suspicious. What the hell do you mind? Ling Qi finally couldn't help but ask. Gu Yuchen was silent, his brows furrowed. I don't mind that you don't pay enough attention to each other. This sentence is like an invisible wall separating the two. Ling Qi felt misunderstood, but Gu Yuchen felt that he was not cherished. They are stuck in a dead knot of mind. Chapter 8 The Sound of Rain Outside the Window. A sudden rain soaked the dinner the two had agreed upon. Ling Qi stood by the window, watching the rain slowly slide down the glass. Gu Yuchen sat silently in the corner of the sofa, his back to her. The atmosphere was solemn, and each other's silence was more depressing than the sound of rain. Are we too tired? Ling Qi asked softly. Perhaps, we are not ready for love. Gu Yuchen finally spoke, his voice hoarse. That night, they didn't quarrel, they didn't speak, only the turbulence in their hearts. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 9 The night I walked alone. After the rain stopped, Ling Chi walked home alone. Under the streetlights, her shadow stretched long, lonely, and helpless. She began to reflect, did she give too much but didn't receive anything in return? Where is Gu Yuchen? Does he also have his own struggles, but he just didn't say it? She decided to give each other some time to let go of her mind and find her original intention. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 10 An Unexpected Reunion. A week later, the two unexpectedly met at a friend's party. Embarrassed by each other, but they couldn't help but peek at each other. Gu Yuchen took the initiative to come over and handed Ling Chi a glass of wine. I miss us who don't mind anything. Ling Chi smiled, with a long-lost light in his eyes. Then let's start here. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 11 Redefining Love. They agreed that they would no longer mind as a burden, but as a way to understand each other. Ling Chi learned to give Gu Yuchen a sense of security when he wanted to mind. Gu Yuchen learned to express his true emotions in mind, not to be silent. Love is no longer simply tolerance, but the courage to choose again and again. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 12 Time is not old, we are not separated. As spring goes and autumn comes, Gu Yuchen and Ling Chi have walked through countless mornings and evenings hand in hand. Mind becomes understanding, and quarrels become communication. They found the most down-to-earth support in each other. The sycamore outside the window is still green, and their stories are slowly fermented over time, exuding a warm and heavy light. Chapter 13 Hidden Scars. One night, Ling Chi accidentally found Gu Yuchen crying alone late at night, and when asked why, he admitted that his childhood was deeply hurt by the betrayal of his family. These past events became the source of his concern, the fear of being abandoned again, the fear of losing the person he loved. Ling Chi hugged him tightly and decided to use endless patience and tenderness to accompany him to heal his wounds and let love become a healing force. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 14 Challenges and Misunderstandings. Just as the relationship between the two was getting better, the gossip from the outside world eroded their trust like a poisonous snake. Gu Yuchen's predecessor suddenly appeared and caused a misunderstanding. Ling Kai's work pressure also made her irritable. Mind strikes again, and the two quarrel fiercely. Are you starting to mind again? Ling Chi roared. Gu Yuchen was silent, heartbroken, and the two faced the biggest test of their relationship. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 15 The Collision of Hearts. After experiencing a heated argument, they chose to communicate calmly. Ling Chi opened up and spoke about his vulnerability under pressure. Gu Yuchen confessed his uneasiness and admitted that minding was actually another manifestation of deep love. The two cried and hugged, understanding that love does not need perfection but honesty and tolerance. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 16 The Promise of Love. One sunny afternoon, Gu Yuchen proposed to Ling Chi under the sycamore tree. He said, "No matter how much I mind, I am willing to go on with you." Ling Chi was full of tears and agreed to this profound promise. Their love is no longer a light wind, but a solid harbor. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 17 The Appearance of Home. After marriage, the two worked together to create their own little world. No longer run away from mind, but use it as a seasoning for love, making feelings more real and moving. Although life has trivialities and troubles, the two are like an indispensable light in each other's lives. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 18 The Unfinished Story. Many years later, Ling Chi and Gu Yuchen sat on the balcony of their hometown, recalling those days of mind. They smiled and said, "That's a trace of love, a proof of what we've been through. Snuggle up to each other and watch the sunset dye the sky red. The mind never disappeared, but they learned to dance with it and live their lives to be the most beautiful. Underscore 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 un. Finale. Love is not that you don't mind, but that you choose after mind. Ling Qi and Gu Yuchen completed a gorgeous turn of love and growth from fearlessness when they first met, to painful entanglement when they minded, and then to honest treatment at the end. They prove that true love tolerates each other's flaws and respects each other's boundaries. No matter the wind or rain, we will still be with you, never leaving you. Underscore 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 un. Postscript. The love story of life is often not as flawless as in fairy tales. We all mind, we get hurt, we withdraw. But it is precisely because of these imperfections that love seems real and precious. May we all learn to persevere in mind and find happiness in perseverance. I also hope that everyone who has loved can become a better version of themselves.